Number 2, Jibri.
What was it like, with you and your brothers competing against one another?
Oh man, that was something that we did every day. We always competed in everything we did. We grew up on a farm that was 303 acres in western Pennsylvania, so we spent a lot of time out there growing up, and it was just us. The guys, me, my 2 brothers, and my dad. We would hunt, fish, ride 4-wheelers, dirt bikes, play football 2-on-2. So it was good growing up. We competed in who could catch the biggest fish, who could shoot the most birds, just different little stuff like that. It was always competition, and that's what kind of fostered our love for sports.
So which out of you all was the most competitive?
I mean, we're all about the same level of competitiveness. My older brother, he's really, really competitive. He doesn't like to lose in anything. We would play 2K, and sometimes it would lead to blows, and it would lead to different things like that. But it was all love, and it was always just that will and desire to want to win.
Did he always get the better of you when it came to those blows?
Yeah, he's a little bit bigger than I am, and out of my 3 brothers, I'm the skinniest, I would say. And I think that those are always tough matchups to win. I'd get him with a cheap shot every now and then, but that was about it.
You ended up going to St. Vincent-St. Mary's,
right.
The alma mater of obviously LeBron James.
Right.
How did you end up going there?
It was a funny story how it happened. There was a AAU tryout that they were having in Pittsburgh, and they were looking for kids to play on King James Shooting Stars, out of the area. And a guy by the name of Anthony Cheatham, he was down there, and he had reached out to my brother about him going to this workout. So after church, he'd asked my dad to take him to the workout, and he went to the workout. I didn't have any shoes. I was in dress socks. I had some shoes in the back of the car. So my dad was like, "Oh yeah, get out there, and you need to run. You need to work out." So I go out there, and there's older kids, and they're like, "Oh, would you want to play on our younger team?" So I ended up playing on King James Shooting Stars younger team from 7th grade until I finished AAU. And I grew up with those guys, and those guys in Northeast Ohio, those were guys that really, molded me into, just playing hard and just being, competitive at that level. And, when I was transferring high schools, I was like, I want to go be with my friends, and those are the guys I'm spending my whole summer with and stuff. So I ended up transferring up to St. Mary's, going to school with a lot of my good friends, Josh Williams, who's at Robert Morris, Louis, VJ King, who went to Louisville and is with the Knicks now. Henry Badley, he's at Butler, and Jalen Hudson, he went to Florida. He's playing professional ball now. There was a lot of guys that were there that I'm still in contact with, and we had some really good players.
Talking about going from Pittsburgh to Cleveland, away from family. How was that like? Being away from them as a high schooler.
It was a tough decision for my family and stuff like that, and they were. My mom, of course, she was a little bit skeptical at first, but my dad, he always, anything that we wanted to do, if we put our mind to it, he always had a good sense of like, okay, I know that this is something he really wants to do, and he supported me 100%.
At St. Vincent-St. Mary's, did you ever meet LeBron?
Yeah, he would come to practice and come back and speak, and he did a lot for the school, so he was around. And my senior year, we were 26-0, number 3 in the country. We were really rolling. He came back and he would reach out at times like that when we would play games. Tweet about us and stuff like that. So that was always inspiring to have your childhood hero, reaching out and supporting the school and stuff like that.
And what was like the relationship with you and him?
It was distant, but he came around, and we we would see each other and, he would speak and I would speak, but it was never anything like that. There was a couple times he played open gym with us, or he'd let us get in a workout or something like that. But other than that, he was just, a role model who was around. He'd bring his kids around and stuff like that. So that was pretty much it.
And you're not the only one here at North Carolina Central University that attended St. Vincent-St. Mary's.
Right.
Women's basketball freshman Faith Williams, she's also attended there as well. Did you two know each other, and what was it like seeing her here at NCCU?
Oh yeah, me and Faith, we've known each other since we were younger. Her two brothers are two of my closest friends. They go to school in Pittsburgh now at Robert Morris, and when I'm home, I'm always up there working out with those guys. We transferred to St. Vincent-St. Mary's the same year, so we spent a lot of time together. And when she was making her decision to come here, they obviously reached out to me, and I spoke highly of Central, and she chose to come here, and I let her family know that I'd be looking out for her and stuff like that. But yeah, I've known Faith, her family and my family we're very close.
Playing at St. Vincent-St. Mary's, obviously history there with LeBron James and them, but now you're playing in McDougal-McClendon Arena.
Right.
How special is it knowing that you played in, some of the most iconic gyms in your playing career?
I mean, it's just been a blessing, just going through, the programs that I've been to, playing in the same gym as good NBA players like Norris Cole, and the history that's at Cleveland State. Having the opportunity to transfer here and play in the Hoop State, and be near Tobacco Road with some of the richest basketball history, and then of course here with John McClendon being the great coach that he was, and then now playing for Coach Moulton, who's an excellent guy. It's really been a blessing. I couldn't have asked for it to be any other way.
Here you play alongside Evan Claiborne, but this is the first time you two are teammates. Another reunion like with you and Faith.
Right.
Y'all played alongside each other at Cleveland State. So what does that do between you two having that chemistry from playing with each other at Cleveland State and now here at NCCU?
It was good. When I played against Evan in high school. We played in the same AU organization, so I've known Evan for a while as well. And I feel like, when I went to Cleveland State, he had asked, what did I think about Cleveland State? And then, I came here and he was looking to transfer as well. And I actually hosted him on his visit here. And, it ended up working out, and, it's been good. Evan's a hard-working kid, and he's finding his way here as well.
And you talk about transfer from Cleveland State to here.
Yeah.
What was the biggest reason coming here?
Well, it was really a blessing because Central wasn't really on my radar, and I don't know if I was on their radar, but they reached out to me pretty late. I had spoke to some different people. One of those people being Coach Tomlin, who spoke very highly on the behalf of Coach Moulton. Coach Moulton reached out to me, and I didn't even come on a visit here, but he had just told me a little bit about the program, sent me a few videos, and sent me some clips to watch online. And it's like anything else, when you know, and I just, I had a good feeling about it. My younger brother was coming here, and, we wanted to live together after me moving to St. Vincent-St. Mary's. We didn't have a lot of time to, bond when we were growing up and coming through those early stages of becoming young men. So when I came down here, and he was coming down here, it was just a blessing to, be able to attend the same school and play for an HBCU and a good program like Coach Moulton has built here.
So you never visited campus at all before you got here?
No, before I came here, I'd never seen the campus. I had never met Coach Moulton in person, none of the staff. I actually was probably recruited by North Carolina Central for a couple weeks before I decided to come here, but it just was the right feel. I had a couple other schools that I was looking at, and I didn't want to go somewhere else and just be another number. I wanted to go somewhere where I could have an impact and something that it was going to mean something to me and the people that, were recruiting me. So I felt that here, and that's why I made my decision to come here.
What it feel like, bro?
Man, I'm a champion. This is a dynasty. North Carolina Central. All this right here runs through North Carolina Central. We've been doing this a long time. That's the reason I came here.
Last year, you helped NCCU win their third straight MEAC tournament championship. After the game, was a clip going around that, you said, I'm finally a champion.
Right.
What was that feeling like that whole game? You was grinding through adversity and capturing the title.
Being the son of a, 4-time Super Bowl winner and, you know, Hall of Famer, you know, league MVP winner, there's always the pressure to just win at something, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's life, whether it's, you know, anything. And, you know, it was never really a pressure that I didn't like, but, you know, to be able to hear the stories of like how my dad worked and, you know, what he did to accomplish those things and how he overcame adversity and things like that. To win that championship, you know, it meant a lot more to me than a lot of people understood. You know, it was just, you know, that was my own. You know, that was my own championship. That was one that I could have for myself. And it's like, you know, when you get that feeling of winning and being the champion, the number one, the top dog, you know, that feeling is, you know, words don't do it justice. There's no way that I could describe to you, you know, to tell you how I felt, but you know, that was a great feeling.
Your father again, Mel Blount,
Right.
Steelers legend, Hall of Famer, just got selected to the NFL 100 all-time
Right,
team.
right.
What or when did you decide to not play football and pursue basketball?
I was always slimmer when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really a big body. I played quarterback. I played a little bit of wide receiver, and I played some cornerback. You know, my last year playing football, and you know, I just fell in love with basketball. You know, I was playing it all summer. All my friends were playing basketball. You know, it was just, you know, my closest friends, you know, that's what we would do all summer is go to the gym, walk to McDonald's, walk back to the gym, play one-on-one, you know, pick up games and things like that. You know, I tell people all the time about the YMCA in Wheeling, West Virginia. You know, I used to live there. And we, you know, those are some of the most talented players that I've played with. You know, they just didn't happen to make it, but you know, those were the days that made me. And you know, I remember back to, you know, when I was playing at the Y every day, and it was just something I fell in love with. So when I went to St. Vincent-St. Mary's, I stopped playing football, but I went out and I was, you know, going to football workouts and football tryouts. My senior year, I was like, man, I'm gonna play. I don't care. I miss football. I was good at it. They always told me like they wanted me to come out and play. And, you know, I joke with Coach Drew all the time that he wasn't having it because, you know, he called me after a workout and he heard that I was out there. And he said that, you know, I came here to get a basketball scholarship. So, you know, I got focused back on reality and I got back on track. So
There was an incident when you were younger that people were talking about that you brought your father's championship rings in without telling him.
Right.
What was going through your head trying to bring those in?
I mean, you know, as a young kid, you want to be, you know, I'm in third grade. You know, kids are bringing in different things that they think are cool, show and tell, you know. So it was just something that, like, you know, looking back, it's like, you know, I'm saying the same thing you're saying. It's like, what was I thinking? But, you know, as a young kid, it's like my dad has Super Bowl rings. So it's like, okay, like I see him all the time. Like, let me take him to show and tell. Like, this is something that's cool. I know people will want to see it. So, you know, I snuck and got the Super Bowl rings. I took 2 of them, you know, I guess I figured I'd take 2 and leave 2. So if I lost those 2, at least he had 2 left over. So but I took them to school and I showed them to the kids, and my teacher was kind of shocked, but she was like, you know, let's make sure we put those in a safe place so you get those back home. She didn't want to be responsible for that either. So, you know, I took them back, I put them back, and, you know, that was it. So
what is that relationship like, you know, with you and Coach Moulton?
Man, I have a great relationship with Coach Moulton. Like I said, you know, we share the same passion for winning. You know, our parents are about the same age, so we were raised kind of the same way. And, you know, he's a witty guy, I'm a witty guy, so we kind of bounce off each other sometimes, and it's good, you know. One thing that I did is, like, when I was transferring, I wanted to play for a coach who could understand, a coach who was like me, a coach who, you know, has been there, who's done those things. And, you know, he tells us all the time, like, I've been where you want to go. And, you know, he's done the things that we want to do. And so that's why I can respect him. I have so much respect for, you know, what he's done for Central and the way that he's built this program from the ground up, from playing here and, you know, changing the culture to coaching here, and, you know, how he continues to bring in guys that, you know, can uphold the culture and the, you know, the MO and the standard that he's set for winning. So, you know, I have nothing but praise for Coach Moulton in the way that he's done. I'm thankful for the opportunity that he's given me to come play here, the trust and belief that he's had in me to, you know, lead the team this year. And, you know, this has been a special year, and, you know, I couldn't be more thankful for him.
What's the biggest thing that you worked on this offseason to get you here to this point?
But just consistency, staying in the gym, make sure I'm lifting every day, eating the right way. Last year I was able to get a taste of, what Coach Moulton liked and what he was able to offer to me and what he wanted me to offer to him and to the team. So, I took that into the off season and I just made sure that, I continued to work on my game, found my spots and, worked out from those spots more specifically, worked on my body, and then like I said before, my spirituality and just working on my mental. And I feel like that was the biggest thing, being able to handle adversity and just making sure that I'm trying to, control my thoughts and the things that, I'm allowing into my spirit. So it's like when it's time to play basketball, I can be focused on playing basketball.
Do you feel like that work ethic is something that can be taught, or is that something that just has to be inside of you?
I feel like it's something that can be taught. When you see success, and you understand what success has done for other people, you want to get a taste of that for yourself. And I grew up in that, and I saw my father every day. He at 72 years old now, he grinds like he did when he was 22. So he tells us about how he worked, and he tells us about what he did. He shows us pictures. You go back to his hometown and you hear stories about how he worked and what he put himself through to get to where he is. And my older brother, he picked it up and he was able to make it to the NFL, and he was able to, be successful. And, I'm the next in line for a lot of great guys that came before me. So, I'm just trying to uphold the legacy, represent my family the right way, myself the right way, my father the right way. And, that work ethic is something that has been passed down, through my family, but it can definitely be taught. It can definitely be taught. And I haven't always had it, but, I was able to pick it up at a good time.
What is something that people don't know about you, Jibri Blount, the student, the person?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people don't know that I grew up on a farm. That was something that really shaped, who I am as a person. That was part of the work ethic. We'd get up in the mornings in the summer and cut grass, and we'd feed horses, and we would, clean stalls, and we would bale hay and just do things around the farm. My dad, he always used to tell us, I'm raising men, I'm raising men, I'm raising men. So that was something that, being a man is, that's an actual thing. And the way that he taught us to grow and just, respect people, respect yourself, and, respect what it is that you're doing. I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't know, that a lot of the things that I do and, why I do what I do is just because of the farm, living out there. And, we always joke, there's like, everybody always says, oh, I'm from Chicago, I'm from Miami, I'm from, here. But like, me and my brothers, we always say, we're from 6 Mel Blount Drive. Like, it's only 4 people, it's only 4 guys that came out of there, you know what I'm saying? And everybody was able to make it out. And that's the thing, the farm. That's probably what people don't know about me.
Who would you say has the biggest impact on you, not only as a player, but as a person?
My brothers and my father. Like I said, he calls me before the games, calls me after the games. He's always checking on me, always making sure that, I have everything that I need to be successful, and, I'm always in a position to be successful. So he's given me some of the best advice that I've ever heard, and just seeing my older brother go through that, he always keeps me encouraged. And, you can talk to a brother like, tell him anything that you need. Also, my mother, she's, the sweetest lady in the world. She's, she's stern and she's strict, but, that's my girl. She's probably my best friend. And I feel like, I don't always give her enough credit for what she has done for me, but, she's the backbone of our family. And, she holds us all together. We always joke around and say that, like, we would just be 4 wild cavemen, without her. She keeps us in line, keeps us sharp, keeps us, on top of everything that we have to do. So, my parents, they're definitely the reason that I am how I am, and the reason that I do what I do.
What does NCCU mean to you?
NCCU means the world to me, and I feel like that's another thing. I don't always, give Central enough credit, but like, I love my HBCU. And, coming here, I was like, wanted to be at a HBCU. My dad, he went to Southern University. My older brother went to Florida A&M. I had an aunt that went to Bethune-Cookman. My mom went to Spelman. So, my whole family's been at HBCUs, and, coming to an HBCU and the love and the support, just the way that Central has treated me and embraced me as one of their own. And you know, I'll always be grateful. And you know, whatever happens, I'll always come back, and I'll always make sure that, you know, this is somewhere that I feed into the way they fed into me.
So what's the one thing you'll miss about NCCU when it's all said and done?
Probably the laughs. You know, I know when I wake up every day that, like, I'm gonna laugh. You know, whether I go sit in my academic advisor's office and, you know, we share stories and laugh, or, you know, I'm around my teammates, my coaches, my brother, you know, I'm happy here. So like that's something, you know, a lot of people, they go and they're in different places and they're, you know, not always happy, but this is somewhere that I can genuinely say that, like, every day I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be able to work here. I'm happy to be able to play here. So that's something that I'll miss, and that's something that, you know, I'll always come back and cherish, tell my kids about.
And then when the season's all over, what is your plans, you know, post-playing career?
Well, post-playing career, you know, I've got a couple plans, and, you know, I'm not ready to, you know, put that all out on the camera yet, so you guys stay tuned for that. But, you know, I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. You know, this is the short sleeve right here, but I got a couple tricks up my sleeve that I'm gonna look into, some options I'm gonna pursue. But I'm definitely ready for the next phase of my life. You know, I was happy to spend my time here, and, you know, I was really grateful for everything that everybody's done for me here. But I'm ready for that next phase of my life, and I feel like, you know, I'm excited about it, and I feel like everybody's going to be excited about it.
All right, and is there anything else you want to add, tell the people, let them know about yourself or the program?
I appreciate all the support that I've gotten, you know, through the years. Everybody who watches this video, you know, when it comes out and stuff like that, you know, everybody who supported me, the people who have doubted me, the people who, you know, it just made me who I was, you know what I mean? And the people, that's what it's about, the people, you know, and that's what I'm most grateful for, is the people that believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself, you know, the people who saw better in me when I was doubting myself. And, you know, I think back to old teachers, old coaches, you know, just, there's so many people that have had an impact on my life, and, you know, so many people that, like, I want to thank, and, like, people that I would want to, you know, give back to and take care of, because I know that I wouldn't be here without them, without the people who looked out for me. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for believing in me and helping me get to where I am.
This has been an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.